Hello and welcome to BISP Solutions. My name is Ankita, and our today's topic is workforce planning. In today's topic, we are going to cover the definitions of workforce planning, primary workforce planning criteria, then its goals, benefits, and its process. Firstly, we will understand what workforce planning is. It is a process of analyzing existing employees and planning for future staffing requirements through talent gap assessment, developing employee management procedures, and setting recruitment strategies. Workforce planning requires developing an appropriate and cost effective strategy for retaining, recruiting, and training your workforce while also continually assessing employee performance. What are the primary workforce planning criteria? The primary criteria are employee numbers. The company should have the appropriate size of the workforce. It should not be overstaffed and there should not be inefficient number of employees. It should match the demand. Then comes the skill set. In the skill set, one should analyze the skills, capabilities, knowledge, and experience of the employees, which are in accordance with the achievement, which are in accordance with the demand and helpful in achieving the goals of the organization. The next criteria is budget. The optimal staffing expenditure is required to maximize the profit and to get a high return on investment from employees. The last criteria is flexibility. In flexibility, the workforce should be agile and easy to adapt according to the market changes. Now, we will understand what are the goals of implementing the workforce planning. The main goal is to create a strategy for a staffing need that ensures achievement of strategic objectives both now and in the future. To achieve the goal, workforce planning require an in-depth understanding of existing workforce, employee skills, experience, load capability, and potential talent gaps. Through assessment, we can take a bird eye view of entire workforce and create actionable plan for the future. Next is the benefit of workforce planning. The first benefit of workforce planning is that it helps to create a roadmap for staffing requirements. Secondly, it helps in understanding the gap of current workforce, which informs the future personnel strategy in terms of recruitment, redeployment, and training. Thirdly, by identifying and developing employee with potentials for future leadership roles, one can effectively plan for staff living with minimal disruptions. Succession plans also have a positive effect on employee engagement. In the recent survey, it is being identified that 62% of the employees would be significantly more engaged if they had a successive plan at their company. Fourthly, effective workforce planning gives a clear understanding of employee skills and where they can be more successful in the business. So rather than terminating the employee, one need to retain. Lastly, A workforce plan with recruitment and training structure in place can make the business more agile and flexible with the change in the environment. Now, let's understand the workforce planning process. Step 1, deciding strategic directions and goals. Workforce planning is a top down process requiring clear organizational directions and defined strategic goals to inform and guide future decisions. What directions do you see your business going in? What are you hoping to achieve through workforce planning? What are the primary goals you are targeting? What does your business need new workforce planning structure for? These are the vital questions to ask yourself before analyzing your workforce and implementing a new employee management strategies. Then, second step is properly assessing and analyzing existing workforce. Common strategies used in this step includes demand planning, internal supply, then gap analysis. We will first understand demand planning. Demand planning determines number of employees needed for each role required to reach the goal. It helps to determine workforce futures number, structure, and composition. Internal supply. This planning needs accurate talent evaluation and understanding of expected employee turnover rate and the design of training and professional development programs. The last one is the gap analysis. Identifying the gap in your workforce and making plans to close them through recruitment, redeployment, training are the steps that are taken to build the gap, to bridge the gap. The third step is to develop a plan. Take their overall goals, input the assessment of their existing workforce, and produce a concrete plan for the future. Let us understand develop plan with the help of an example. Here we are taking the example of a car manufacturing company having model A and model B. In the year 2021, the revenue in case of model A is 50 million. However, it is reduced by 4% in the year 2022, which is 48 millions. The total staff for the year 2021 is 200. Now, the revenue per employee is $250,000. How did we get this? After dividing revenue with the total number of the staff, we get $250,000 as the revenue per employee. For the year 2022, we have the forecast total staff as 192. Here we can see there is a reduction in the total number of staff by 8. In the same way, in model B, we can see that the revenue is 21 million. And the forecasted figure for 2022 is 38 million, which shows a growth of 81%. The total staff for 2021 in model B is 70. Its revenue per employee is $300,000. Now, in case the forecasting, we have identified that total staff is 127 for 2022, which is comparatively higher than the year 2021. So we can see that there is a demand in increase in the total staff by 57 in numbers. So the company can shift the model A staff to model B, and they can even hire, or they can prefer to hire more number of employees. In this case, company can terminate the contract with the 8 employees in case of model A, or they can provide training to them and transfer the employees to model B and recruit the balanced employees. The company need to maintain employee turnover rate. This is the example for develop plan in case of step 3. In the step 4, implementing workforce planning. This requires HR personnel to clearly understand their new roles and responsibilities, define measurement and evaluation criteria to assess the planning success. Last is to monitor results. In monitoring results, one need to monitor the implemented workforce planning. It is being monitored that the implementation is in accordance with the developed plan. Thank you. For any more queries, feel free to ask.